Sugar Bear in the morning, Hot 103.5. We are so privileged to have the beautiful, you see her sitting next to us right now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Kehlani. Yeah! We were talking about the cat when we were, now last time she was with us, she got a cat from Front Animal Shelter. Shout out to them. What's the name of the cat?
His name is Jedi, and you should adopt if you're watching this.
That's right.
It's the best decision I ever made.
Good stuff.
Yeah, adopt, please.
And it's doing well. The cat's doing well.
Yeah, he's a whole grown man. We live in New York now. He's really crazy. I'm working on designing this thing to build him to put against my wall so he can kind of climb around the perimeter of my apartment.
Oh, nice.
Because I'm gone so much, by the time I come home, he's turned all of my belongings into cat toys. So he kind of needs a little more entertainment.
There you go.
So talk about the move from going to the Bay Area to New York, because that's a completely different lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's so fast out there.
Well, I went from the Bay to LA to New York, and to me, Brooklyn is mostly like Oakland. Like, LA was kind of the out of place for me. Like, very Hollywood, very strange. I kind of felt out of my element. I kind of was really like out of the way too. I couldn't like walk. First of all, everything's so spread out, and I don't drive.
Right.
I'm like Uber shawty, you know what I mean? So,
Uber everywhere.
exactly, literally. So, I don't know. I get to walk around. I like get up. I go to coffee shop. I think it's just healthy for me. You know what I mean? I really get to get up and do something that's good for myself every single day, and not just kind of be stuck in one world, which is kind of what I felt LA was doing for me. Like, I'm stuck in career mode 24/7.
I read somewhere that you flew in your homies from New York to shoot the Crazy video, which hit 1 million views.
Yeah, like 5 days, right?
Thank you.
Yes, which is amazing. So, is that like a glimpse into what you do in New York on your off days?
No.
What, dance in front of old school cars and stuff, kicks in people's faces. There was a lot of real elements to that. Like, we do sit around in the crib and laugh at each other, and I do consider myself like the birthday god. You know what I mean? Like, I go incredibly ham for all my friends' birthdays. I feel like if you follow me on social media, you might just know that I really go extremely hard for my friends' birthdays. I just feel like it's super fun, and what's the point of having the stuff that I have if I'm not gonna share it with everybody that I love? So.
Do they ever tell you to chill? Like, bro, chill.
Oh no, they love it.
Okay, they love
totally
the attention.
Love it. Now I just I'm waiting for my birthday to come back around so I can challenge all of them. Like, what y'all gonna do, right? Pressure's on, yeah?
So let's talk. So most artists, when they come by, they have a single. Kehlani's got singles.
Singles.
Plural. One in particular I was really digging the first time I heard it was Distraction. Talk a little bit about that record and what went into that.
Well, I made Distraction a while ago. I went to Philly for 2 weeks with Pop and Oak, who made Did I? Okay. And we made about 6 or 7 records for the project. Actually, we made about 10 or 11 maybe, and narrowed it down for my album. And Distraction was one of them. And I just remember after we made that, we was like, yo, this is the one. Like, I'm pretty sure we made it the same week we made Did I? Which was a really long time ago. And we were just super stoked about it. And I just remember him going like, yo, like, this is R&B. Like, I know you make R&B, but like this is R&B. And I was like, yeah, trust me, I feel you. And like, when I learned I was able to start performing it, and then we were gonna release it, I was like, oh yes, please. Like, this is my jam. So it's my favorite one for sure.
See, one of my favorites is Gangsta from Suicide Squad. Have you ever seen that? That, when you listen to the lyrics, it's very profound. Tell me what that was like, first of all, when you got the call or the invite to be on that soundtrack, and then writing and putting your feelings into that song, and the lyrics is awesome.
Well, thank you. Well, I'm going to give credit always where it's due. I didn't write that song. A beautiful, wonderful person named Skylar Gray wrote that record, and she's super dope. She's a couple records on the Suicide Squad album. When they approached me with the record, I thought she sounded so perfect on it, and I kept telling them, like, yo, why don't you keep her? Like, it sounds amazing. Like, and they were like, nah, she's excited about you. And so when we met, we were both just completely going crazy over each other.
Props, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's really dope to be able to meet people who aren't crazy with pride over their art, because she was very like, I love the record, but you made it you. And I'm like, and I'm very prideful over writing my own records, but the song was so dope that I wanted to be a part of what you were doing. So, and of course, it being in a movie was just the most craziest thing ever to me. And
like the emotion you put in, like you translated for the character. Like,
I felt like I was her.
You felt like you were
watching
her.
the movie. I was like,
that.
We have a lot in common, girl. We both a little crazy, so I'll just.
Great song.
So another record you hopped on when Hotline Bling was big. You put out your version with Charlie Puth.
Yeah.
Did you and Charlie just kind of organically get in the booth one day and decide
that was
let's
actually
do
so
this?
organic? Yeah. Well, we were signed to the same label, and we're kind of in these spaces where we both wasn't really working on necessarily a focused project, and we're just both in the studio working. And I walked into his room and we were just like, yo, I'm like, you're Charlie Puth. And he's like, you're Kehlani. And I'm like, that doesn't mean anything. You're Charlie Puth. And we started working on some beats. And like, we actually made these really funny beats that day where it was like my vocals making sounds and like him like producing them out. And then we had just heard Hotline Bling and we were listening to it. And I was like, yo, why don't we do a cover? And he was like, you're right. And he like starts playing it and like he starts singing it. Then I started harmonizing. We were like, yo, turn the mic on. Put that down. So then we did it, and we ended up getting the artwork that night and just dropping it the next day. So
do you enjoy that process? Like being able to creative on the spot like that? You gotta love that.
I think it's my preferred way of. I just know I've never done a. Like, I've never got the whole, like, okay, the label calls and they're like, we're going to sit you down with this person and this makes so much sense, so we're going to link you guys because it looks cool. Like, I know my fans can see through that. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I've kept it so legit with my fans over time that they would call me. They do call me on my bullshit. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's only natural. It's only people that I believe in and people that I'm really friends with and that I can vibe with in a creative environment.
Speaking of those phone calls, you got a call from Miss Lauryn Hill to go on tour with her.
Oh, my goodness.
Yo, listen, this is probably one of the biggest things because I'm actually going to the show whenever it comes. And I'm just like, yo. Like, that's such a big deal. Like, how did you react? Like, what was your initial thought? Like, have you met her yet?
No, I haven't. I feel like...
What are you going to do when you meet her? What's the first thing you're going to say?
I'm going to show her my arm, man. I'm going to be like, yo, I manifested this, G, with this. This is physical. You know what I mean?
Right.
I feel like when I got the Grammy nomination, I made a post and it was like, yo, my fans know there's few things that really get me, that really will make me sit there for days and be like, yo, like this is the greatest thing that ever happened to me. Like that really matter. You know what I mean? That matter. And this was like one of those things. You know what I mean? Like I will talk about this forever and probably not be able to move for 3 days afterwards. And I'm gonna, as soon as I get off stage, just sit in the front and cry, and the whole show, her and Nas, you know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know, I couldn't believe it.
That's dope.
I thought my manager was joking with me, so.
Living the dream.
That's dope. Congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
All right, so you got several fans here that skip school, skip work to come see you
y'all
today.
do.
Don't skip school for
Get
me.
back to work.
Nah.
Don't narc on them, dog.
But we all know what it is.
I'm just saying.
I don't advocate for that.
You know what it is. All right, so they have some very important questions. This first one, I think, is Cammy. Where you at, Cammy? Did I say that right?
Cammy's over here.
All right, Cammy. This is something I wanted to press her on as well. What is your favorite Star Wars movie?
Ooh, I just talked about this. It's funny because by standard, the classics are the classics. You know what I mean?
Right.
Episode 6 is that work. But being someone who grew up in the younger generation who's obsessed with how things look,
right,
and I really like special effects, and I'm a lover, so the love story got me. Episode 2 was my jam.
Really?
You know what I mean? I won't lie to you, it's my jam. Like that's when their love story really kicked off. That's like when it first started getting super futuristic for me, like visual wise, and that's when Anakin was the finest. Hello.
Yeah.
Shout out Anakin.
Padawan Anakin was fine.
And the Cat Jedi, by the way.
Yeah. Hey, quick side story that I actually interviewed him one time and called him Anakin. Didn't work out too well for my life.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
No, you sure can. I found that out the hard way. All right, next question. Where do you see yourself in the next couple of years? What's the future? What are you trying to do?
I really want to do a lot more stuff in the community because just everything this year just makes you realize what's important and what's not as far as, for me. It's put a lot of things into perspective. So I'm working on a lot of nonprofit stuff. Good. And of course I'm about to bring it back around Tsunami Christmas and do some cool things with that. And I don't know, I really just want to get into being very hands-on and stuff like that. Of course I'm going to keep releasing music, and I pretty much want that path to stay consistent. Music tour, but everything else I'm going to get very hands-on.
Nice. All right, this one's from Monique. She got a couple of them. First of all, do you consider yourself religious or spiritual?
Both. I think you can very much be both. I very much believe in God. I pray before I go on stage every single time. I pray for all my friends, for everybody I love, for strangers. You know what I mean? My relationship with God is very strong, but I'm also very spiritual, very much a believer in the universe, very much a believer in karma. You know what I mean? I just read up as much as possible and keep myself educated in whatever I feel like is calling to me. It's my duty to follow it and learn about it. So, I kind of just keep myself in between all those.
Do you have any superstitions when you go on stage, before you go on stage, like rub your earlobes like 60 times?
No, because I just really believe everything happens for a reason. Okay. If I'm going to fall on stage or if
Oh,
the mic falls out of my hand.
So Mariana wants to know, what are your favorite songs from your Cloud 9 mixtape? Or excuse me, Cloud 19.
This Is How We Do Us with Kyle Dion, because Kyle Dion is insane. Like vocally, that man, like he can sing like 300 million times higher than me.
That's
Like,
dope.
and I'm always just like.
In awe.
So that one, and then probably I Deserve Better. It's just like the ultimate girly, girl power, do my makeup song. So, and I'm a sucker for those.
All right. Well, it looks like we've actually run out of time, unfortunately. I'm kind of sad about that.
We was having so much fun.
I know, this is a great conversation.
It happens.
It happens.
Yeah,
Project, you got a new project on the way? What can you
Yes,
talk
I'm
about?
working on my debut album.
Okay.
Doing the finishing touches and all that. You know, I'm not rushing myself.
That's good.
I really want it to be
Please don't.
perfect.
Please do not.
I feel like because my goal isn't a competitive thing. I don't have a reason to rush. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm really just trying to beat my last project. So
Right.
yeah.
Creative. Ladies and gentlemen, Miggy, please make some noise. Make her feel welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Kehlani. Look out for the new project. Thank you for stopping by. Howard.
Thank
We
you for
love you here. We
having
got
me.
you.
Yes.
Tell Jedi we said what's up.
I
too.
will. You know, he's babe born.